CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. Kashechewan First Nation is in the middle of a water crisis and wants the federal government to relocate the community. In a CTV exclusive, Lydia Chubak was invited to the community yesterday to get a look at the water plant and talk with Indigenous leaders.
The evacuation of hundreds of Kashechewan's members continued this week. A failure with the community's sewage system caused the need for the measure.
Back in December 18th, that's when the waterworks people notify us there's something wrong with that pump.
We replaced the pump, put it back in service, and got it operational.
But it was too late. Sewage had backed up into the water supply.
There's supposed to be a backwater valve or check valve on there that appears to have failed.
Indigenous Services Canada issued a do not consume water advisory January 5th. Because this isn't the first time Kashechewan's water system has failed. The chief launched evacuations, and so far around half of the community's 2,500 members have left.
I think this was a shocker to everybody because we had no clue as to what happened way back in December.
The sewage pump's malfunction caused other issues. Wastewater backed up into the nursing station, forcing healthcare workers to relocate and operate from the elementary school. The grade 4 classroom, now the ER. Some fire hydrants froze and crews have to heat them with a propane torch and add salt to maintain them. The high school sprinkler system also froze, causing water damage. And the water plant's heating system is also broken. This generator supplies the warmth. It's all too much for the community's chief to manage on his own.
I could just sense his frustration and the load, the heavy load that he must be carrying on his shoulders, and that's why I wanted to be here today.
Chief Wesley says last spring the community was given $1.7 million to address some infrastructure issues. Work was underway, but he says while waiting for parts and the sewage pump to come in, the system failed.
Having spare pumps on site would have definitely helped, because that could have been an instant resolve to the problem and prevented the backup.
We're not driving down to the city center, pick up a new part and install it, or the heater that's not working right here off to the hardware store to buy the part. It doesn't work like that. And so, you know, the challenge is that communities left with coordinating all of this material coming in, finding the expertise to do it. Many of our communities face that, and sadly, what we've seen here in Kashechewan is a result of that.
As the community works to repair damages, Indigenous leaders are calling government leaders to visit Kashechewan.
If they're waiting for a good time or when things are calm for them to be here, they will never be here. They just need to show up.
No one has met the chief in person yet, but when that happens, he'll also be asking for an update on the agreement signed in 2019 to get the community relocated out of the flood-prone area.
Since that time, there's been very little action from Ontario and Canada to actually implement that agreement.
As the sun goes down on this day in Kashechewan, Indigenous leaders ask all Canadians to stand with them as they continue their fight.
Stand with my children, to stand with my babies, and to stand with the elders, and to stand with my membership. That's my hope as we fight to get a better community.
Kashechewan is located on the banks of the Albany River, which flows north into James Bay. In a matter of weeks, the threat of spring flooding will be added to the long list of problems. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Kashechewan.
Shifting now to the weather, and it's still cold out there, but when will the warm-up arrive? For more details, we go to CTV's Amanda Hicks, filling in for Rick Wyman.
That's the big question, Tony. The short-term answer is you might not want to put those heavy layers away just yet. Your first look at weather is brought to you by CAA. You can become a member at getcaa.ca. So we do have some cold temperatures in the forecast, a bit of a warm-up headed our way tomorrow, but then by the time Monday rolls around, we're back into that deep freeze once again. I'll have more details coming up a bit later on in the show, but for now, Tony, back to you.
Thanks for that, Amanda. More money for hospitals in the Nipissing district, but as CTV's Eric Tashner tells us, the funding won't change recent decisions of job layoffs at the Regional Health Centre in North Bay.
All hospitals are expected to be fiscally accountable.
The CEO of the North Bay Regional Health Centre is relieved more provincial money is on the way. There's $10.7 million for the health center and $500,000 for the Mattawa Hospital in base funding, trumpeted by Nipissing MPP Vic Fideli.
The Ministry of Health reports in and says, we've heard you that Northern Ontario and rural Ontario need additional funds.
The money for North Bay is an add-on to $15 million announced last month. The hospital's budget is around $330 million each year, while Fideli maintains it's
all designed to help the patients.
CUPE, the union that represents 1,000 hospital workers, doesn't see it that way.
In the long run, it's not going to shorten wait times. It's not going to get more staff on the unit for providing care.
The hospital says it's trying to find the right balance between running a business and operating as a vital healthcare link, acknowledging ongoing challenges it faces in its emergency department.
Emergency physicians, we're recruiting as hard as we can, as far afield as we can, and we are starting to see some successes.
When it comes to the previously announced 40 job cuts, which have been heavily criticized by union leaders, Heinrich promises those cuts won't impact patient care.
We've just improved the way we deliver it.
New figures from the union show staff mental health claims have skyrocketed by nearly 85% between October 2024 and September 2025.
The shortages in the hospital is causing very real strain on our members, and they continue to show up to work to provide the best care that they can.
According to its website, there are currently over 100 vacant positions at the North Bay Regional Health Center. The union says the impact of 40 job eliminations remains unknown.
In the next 2 to 3 weeks, we should have more clarity as to whether anyone will end up indeed unemployed.
The hospital anticipates the number of staff members impacted could be much lower based on these new positions, retirements, attrition, and job transition. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5. Amanda has your full weather forecast. First, let's take a live look at the Miners Memorial in Elliott Lake. The shot is courtesy of the city. It's -12 with the wind chill. We'll be right back.
Fuel your Fridays with CTV and Pure Country. Enter online for a chance to win a $100 gas gift card. Fuel your Fridays. Powered by CAA. Life isn't one size fits all. Neither is CAA.
And congratulations to this week's winner, Stacy Maville. What a great thing to win on a Friday. Absolutely. Let's get into the weather now. And I brought the weather alerts board back because silly me, I forgot to mention the weather alerts during my first hit. Clearly, it's Friday here. We've got a snowfall warning in effect for the areas in yellow on screen. 15 centimeters of snow, blowing snow as well, expected into Saturday morning. So make sure you take care if you're out and about on the roads over the next 24 hours. But weekend, we're at Friday once again. We've got a little bit of snowfall heading our way, depending on where you are. Over the weekend, and then by the time Sunday rolls around, that's when temperatures start to fall pretty significantly. We're plunged back into the deep freeze as we start the work week. Let's get into it with the 5-day forecast, starting with Sudbury Nickel Belt. So for tomorrow, we've got 2 centimeters of snow, high of -3, but it will feel colder than that with the wind chill, a chance of flurries on Sunday, high of -9. Flurries moving through the region on Monday to start the week, high of -14. But look at that low, -27. By Tuesday, we do see a mix of sun and cloud, high of -16, and a chance of flurries on Wednesday. For Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, chance of flurries for tomorrow, high of -6. Chance of flurries on Sunday as well, -8. By Monday to start the work week, we see some flurries kind of moving through. -13 degrees, -26 for the low, -14 on Tuesday with some cloudy skies and a chance of flurries on Wednesday. For Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, 2 centimeters of snow for tomorrow, high of -13. Some sunshine on Sunday, high of -17, but it will feel colder than that with the wind chill. Strong chance of flurries On Monday, -20, -31 for the low, so that is going to be a frigid day. But Tuesday, we do see some sunny skies to help kind of level out a bit of the cold temperatures that we'll be seeing. For Timiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, 2 to 4 centimeters for tomorrow, high of -2, -11. Temperatures falling on Sunday, chance of flurries on Monday as well. And by Tuesday, we see a little bit of sunshine, high of -18. And finally, for North Bay, West Nipissing, -2 for tomorrow, 5 to 10 centimeters, a chance of flurries on Sunday, and then snow heading our way by Monday. So that was your 5-day forecast. Tony, back to you.
Thanks, Amanda. Greater Sudbury Fire Services has changed its mind, allowing a burn barrel at Energy Court, an encampment site. It's also the location where a tent fire and death occurred earlier this week. CTV's Alan Everson reports.
Marielle Lemieux gets warmed by this burn barrel in Energy Court.
It's a lifesaver for some people. Me as well. Right now, it's better than standing in a cold.
I guess so.
As of Wednesday, Greater Sudbury Fire Services made an exception to allow the burn barrel to burn 24/7 for warmth at this site. The change comes as officials continue their investigation into the death of a woman following a tent fire on Monday night.
This concern was brought up prior to the fatality, and it was in the works of looking to get it approved. We did have to mitigate some risk that was involved with having an open fire 24 hours a day there.
Moline says the approved burn barrel is monitored by video surveillance.
So some of those risks have been mitigated through surveillance, through bylaw, as they are able to, through video surveillance, they're able to monitor the fire and determine that if it gets out of control, then suppression crews will be called to come and mitigate that risk.
Back at the barrel, Lemieux says it's been a tough week for people at Energy Court. From the tent fire and death to plunging temperatures and more snow.
I think people are like kind of in a cold numb, you know what I mean? What else do you do? Like keep warm by a fire or in there and wait for somebody to help?
Greater Sudbury Fire Services says the city is supplying the wood for the burn barrel. This is to ensure it's clean, dry wood to prevent people gathering around it from inhaling toxins. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
The clock is ticking on a possible strike by faculty at Laurentian University in Sudbury. Today, students and teachers gathered for a demonstration in support of the right to bargain freely and fairly. CTV's Lindsay Alick has more.
Noisemakers fill Laurentian University's Parker Atrium.
I'm actually shocked to see how many people came out. I knew I had a lot of my peers behind me, but it's been really great. The faculty have been amazing, and we're all just really optimistic over what can happen over the weekend.
Holmes organized the event, which aims to call on the administration and Board of Governors to engage in transparent and equitable negotiations with LUFA. She is a fourth-year student and dreams of becoming a teacher one day herself.
Even when I was in high school, I was a big supporter of our teachers' rights and rights to collective bargaining, and I think it's really important for us to stand up as a community for our teachers because they're really the cornerstone of our community. So I think it's really important to stand up for what's right.
According to officials with the university, over the weekend, negotiations will be overseen by a mediator. In the event of a strike, the post-secondary institution says in a statement, the campus will remain open. Classes, labs, seminars, and other activities led by faculty members and instructors, both online and in person, would stop temporarily. Activities led by university staff will continue, including most student services. Most courses offered by the Center for Teaching and Continuing Learning will still be offered. University officials continue saying, in part, we will provide an update via email as soon as possible before Monday morning, noting that negotiations may continue late into Sunday evening. The university remains dedicated to negotiating in good faith to find an agreement that is fair to LUFA members while protecting the long-term financial sustainability of the university. Members plan to withhold their services and begin a strike as of January 19th at 12:01 a.m. if an agreement cannot be reached by then. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
It's a popular campaign. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Kraft Hockeyville is celebrating 20 years. We get more in hockey this week.
For years, by a monster.
Why isn't anybody coming?
Behind the worst mass killing in Canadian history.
As soon as he said it's too late, I thought, I need help.
Sunday night, right after the game on CTV and Crave.
Hockey This Week is brought to you by Rastall Nut and Bolt Company. Kraft Hockeyville is back for its 20th year with a new format that guarantees provincial and territorial winners, and its focus is on the role Northern rinks play in our communities. Now, to tell us more, I'm joined by hockey personality Paul Bissonnette, but you know him better as Biz Nasty of the podcast Spittin' Chicklets, live from Arizona.
I got a call about joining, and I was over the moon about it because I've had obviously a lot of experience with them, and the fact that I also get to do it with Marc-Andre Fleury as an ambassador for their 20th year. And you already touched on it, right? The fact that they're going to be hitting all the province and territories with winners, maybe a little bit unlike years past where there's going to be a lot more winners because it's the 20th anniversary, but just incredible the amount of work that they've done over that amount of time to support local hockey communities all across Canada. More involvement that I was in is 2016, the Kraft Hockeyville game in Lumby, BC. It was the LA Kings organization against the Edmonton Oilers. They had just drafted Connor McDavid. So we go to this small community in Canada, and all of a sudden these young kids get to see Connor McDavid coming off the bus, giving them the knuckles, and then going to put a show on the ice after they get the nice little arena upgrade from winning Kraft Hockeyville.
Okay, now you've played hockey at all levels, of course the NHL, playing in Pittsburgh, playing in Phoenix. So let's take it down to how this program affects Northern Ontario. We already had a big winner several years ago in Elliott Lake. So what about other communities that are vying for necessary upgrades?
Well, okay, so anybody listening or watching has the opportunity to make an impact. You can go and nominate whatever city or community that you want by going to krafthockeyville.ca. You answer 3 questions, and it's basically, why do you think that your community deserves this? And just the fact that some of these communities where you look at like church, the library, the ice hockey arena, especially in Canada, these are places where you create core memories throughout your community, right? So they're just looking to give back there and make the difference. And especially it being in Canada, like that's what we do. We play hockey. It's our national sport.
Now that's a lot of cash. The largest investment in Hockeyville's history. I think you topped out at $750,000 a year. That's $750,000. You've got cash going these days.
The fact that they've been doing what they've been doing as long as they have for hockey communities, and now they're going above and beyond in year 20, it's just a testament to all the people behind the scenes. Like myself and Marc-Andre Fleury are the faces and the ambassadors that are talking about it media-wise, but let's not kid ourselves. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that do way more and make the ship run. And once again, I'm just grateful to be a part of it to spread the message.
Now, viewers have until March 1st, 2026 to nominate communities by answering 3 questions at krafthockeyville.ca. Paul Bissonnette, Biz Nasty, my guest on Hockey This Week. We're back in 7 days with more.
Thanks, Rick. It was a busy Thursday night for Northern hockey fans, starting in the OHL, where there was a battle of the North at Bort Longyear Memorial Gardens in North Bay.
Leighton bringing it in. Curls back and threw it back to the point. Long shot. Loose puck tapped in by Coughlin.
Chase Coughlin found the back of the net near the end of the first period to get Sudbury on the board. Ryder Kelly, also back from that top prospects game, had one of 2 goals for the troops. That Coughlin goal, however, would be Sudbury's only goal. The Wolves fall on the road to the Battalion 2-1. The troops are second in the Central Division, while Sudbury is a distant 4th. Meanwhile, it was a big night for Sioux Greyhound Jeremy Martin. The Hounds were on the road in Sarnia. It was the Sting who ended up getting stung in the end. Sioux went on to win 5-2. In the OHL this evening, the North Bay Battalion march into Oshawa to take on the Generals. The Wolves will play host to the Flint Firebirds. Puck drop for both games is 7:05. Meanwhile, the Sioux Greyhounds continue their southern road swing, taking on the Guelph Storm. That game starts at 7:07. And over in the NOJHL, it was a thrashing again by the Sudbury Cubs. They faced off against the French River Rapids at Countryside Arena and won 11-0. Nolan Newton was the first star of the game with 3 goals. This evening in the NOJHL, the Boston Voodoos will be in Noelville to take on the French River Rapids. The Greater Sudbury Cubs travel north to take on the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners. Both those games are 7 o'clock starts. The Iroquois Falls Storm head to Sioux, Michigan to play the Eagles, while the Timmins Rock and Hearst Lumberjacks will take the ice at the MAC tonight. That game could have standing implications if the Rock can roll over the Lumberjacks. 7:30 will be the start time on those matches, and the Blind River Beavers face off against the Espanola Paper Kings, also at 7:30. A huge ringette tournament is now underway in North Bay. 34 teams from across the province are participating in the Agnes Jacks Memorial Tournament, now until Sunday. Agnes was the wife of ringette founder Sam Jacks. With the construction of a new arena, ringette officials believe this will be the last chance to play at the Sam Jacks Sports Complex, also known as the West Ferris Arena. Lip smacking good. When we return, a taste of Sudbury. You're watching First at 5. Close-up comes to us from Virginiatown, east of Kirkland Lake. McGarry Legion Branch 384 is holding a spaghetti supper on Wednesday, January 28th. Doors open at 4:30 and supper is at 5:30. The meal is $15 and it's cash only. There's limited seating and takeout is also available. We're heading to the north shore of Lake Huron. Jason Mazer of Iron Bridge snapped these photographs of deer. Where there is one, there is usually more. Great pictures, Jason. Thanks for sending these to us. We are heading to the municipality of French River. Charlene Daou of Monetteville sent us this photograph of a moose having a snack on a cold winter's day. Thanks so much for this, Charlene. Finally, a tasty fundraiser in Sudbury last night. Organizers of Taste of Sudbury had a sold-out crowd at the Caruso Club. Restaurants had tables around the hall and provided specific dishes. People had a chance to take in everything from vegan tacos to braised beef cheek. The money raised will go to Inner City Home and its mandate to help clients. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.